This time I'm making a artifact that you can see in the background in Luthen's shop in Andor. It actually originates in Star Wars Rebels in the last season. It's a piece of the wall from the World Between Worlds when they tear down the Lothal Jedi Temple. When they were excavating it, that's where this comes from. Using Photoshop, I made these designs and then I printed them on my Cricut. The one design is just a little too small. 12 inches is the biggest I can print, and I wanted to have about a 14 or 15 inch diameter. Using my Ryobi hot knife, I start cutting out the edges. This will actually cut through the vinyl as well. I highly recommend wearing a respirator or doing this in a very well ventilated area. You don't see the fumes, but there is smoke coming off as I'm doing this, and I can just imagine what it would do to my lungs if I wasn't wearing my respirator. What I really like about this Ryobi tool is it comes with multiple heads. So once I get done cutting out the outside edge, I switch heads, and now I'm putting in some little divots, like either it got shot with a blaster or just wear and tear of the rock. I didn't get a lot of filming of this, and then I went back in with an X-Acto knife and I just scored and cut to the edges of the vinyl, and then I pulled the vinyl off. I coated it with Mod Podge because I was going to spray paint, but the spray paint I had was a gloss, and I didn't think a gloss paint would look good with this. So I changed my mind last minute and went to a acrylic paint that I just brushed on. I'm using up the last of a bottle of what was chocolate, but I added a mustard yellow to the chocolate, and when it dried, this is what it looks like. Then I took some of the yellow and I added this bright yellow Pearl-X to it to see if it would give it a little bit of a shine, because this is like glitter that you can add to your paint. You can barely see it once it dries, but while it was wet I could tell that the glitter was in there. I don't know if it was worth the wasting of the amount that I used. This entire project in my time was probably less than an hour and a half, including hand drawing in Photoshop the actual shapes. Most of the time was taken up by waiting on the Mod Podge and the paint to dry before moving on to the next step. This is black acrylic ink that you can get at a hobby store, and then I just water it down. I paint it on the edges and in the crevices, and then I basically paint. It's kind of a paint on, paint off type of method, trying to make sure I hit the edges so you can tell where a transition between two surfaces happens. It looks dark when it's wet, but after being wiped down and letting it dry, it actually dries not as dark, and it fills in the crevices really well and gives some nice depth to the actual piece. And so here it is finished. Let me know in the comments what you think. I had someone tell me I should go and get gold leaf and actually gold leaf the yellow parts. I kind of think that's a little overkill, but let me know what you think. Should I do that? Otherwise, I'm calling this one done. Let me know what you think about it in the comments, and thanks for watching.